Good morning, Soddy Daisy. Today's show includes information on the blood drive, a summer job opportunity, and an officer-involved shooting in East Brainerd. Let's get started with the pledge and a moment of silence. Blood drive signups are today and tomorrow during lunch. The blood drive is Thursday. If you are having blood drawn, you will need to bring a photo ID to the drawing. Talent show auditions are April 23rd and 24th. If you're interested in auditioning, talk to Ms. Boydston in room 115. If you buy lunch here in the cafeteria, you now have the choice of tea or homemade lemonade with your purchase. And now, here's a message from Ms. Cox.
Good morning, Soddy Daisy High School. I wanted to take this time to let you know that the school climate survey results have been compiled, and throughout the time of taking the survey, I know we had to take several days to do that, and every student was taken to a certain location to take the survey online, and we appreciate the input that you gave us. Several times in the extra comments, it was mentioned that probably nothing would result from this because they wouldn't be read or we wouldn't put any credibility with that. And I want you to know that that is not true. At this point, I have now read every word of every survey 3 times over. I've compiled a list today that I want to share with you because these seem to be the common concerns that many of you had, that many of you voiced, and I want you to hear how we are trying to address those things, or how things are out of our control, or just have some communication among all of us as a student body and entire school so that you can understand some of the things that are being done, will be done, and that are being discussed. So the first thing that was mentioned over and over and over, and I totally agree, is bugs. We have had a terrible problem with roaches this year. I have communicated multiple times with central office, and I want you to know that our building has been sprayed about 6 times this year and has been bombed once. We believe that the issue is having had so much rain this year, but nevertheless, we don't want bugs in our building. I hope that you've noticed a significant improvement since spring break because we have had lots of things done since then while we were out for break. Another thing was time between classes and time for lunch. So that will be a discussion that administrators have during the time that we start talking about scheduling, which is coming up very soon. And so we will take that into consideration. Doesn't mean it will be changed, doesn't mean that you will necessarily like the outcome, but we will do what we can. At this time, we're trying to have a skinny block for things that are required by law, such as interventions and things that you need, such as tutoring, to make sure that everyone is able to pass certain classes that they need. But also then we have to split up because you're required to have 4 classes each semester in addition to that skinny. So we have to have a certain amount of time for classes. But we will take that into consideration when we're building the schedule. Next is bullying, tolerance, and rumors. Here's what I need you to know about this. Only you can control that. Administrators cannot control that. We can deal with it after the fact, but when you see bullying happening, you stand up against it. When you hear rumors, you say, I don't want to hear that. That's just a rumor. Don't participate in gossip. Those are things that only you can control. A daily study hall. This is something that administrators have already begun to talk about. We are considering that as part of our skinny block, and so once again that will be discussed throughout April and May to determine what our schedule will look like for next year. That is a possibility, however. Incentives. We realize that the incentives for attendance and tardies stopped, but I need to explain to you that the reason they stopped was because while we had a very large number of students who were eligible, a very small number actually participated. And Dr. McCulley and I, making those permission slips and checking for parent signatures and all the things that went with that, it took a lot of time, and not enough of you were participating because I think maybe you were satisfied to be in third block because you could be on your phones and talk to your friends and things in there. So what we would like to have is some input from you on what incentives would work to encourage you not to be tardy and to be at school. And so 2 things. Mr. Henry is going to speak with the Student Senate, so if you have ideas, please share those with the Student Senate. He's going to get ideas from them. Also, there is an anonymous suggestion box that you can write on a small piece of paper or a small card and slip into a slot, and it has a key lock. So only I have the key. Don't need a name on it. I don't care who gives the suggestion. We would just like to gather ideas from students. So it is on the side of the mailbox, teacher mailboxes, just inside the main office. So if you have suggestions, please put those in the suggestion box. That is for both teachers and students. And I will begin to check that on a weekly basis. Every Friday I'll pick those up and go through them. School lunches and vending machines, here's the thing. We don't have any control over that. That is federal law and federal decisions that control our school lunches, as well as vending machines not being on during lunch. There's nothing that we can do about that, but I did want you to understand why that is. Testing, same thing. Federal and state laws, we have no control over the amount of testing that you go through. If we did, it would be different. However, we do not, and so we are asking you to put your best effort into testing, because that is the reputation that Soddy Daisy High School has. You make that reputation up. Your testing results go out into the public. They're published in the news, online, in the newspaper. They are found everywhere. And so the effort that you put into testing is very, very important, because it gives the community, as well as people around the country who have access to our website and to state information, an idea of who we are and what we do and what we can accomplish and what our ceiling is. If we have half of our students who are showing that they're not proficient, it makes it look like we're not accomplishing our goals here at Soddy Daisy High School. So your performance is very important. Dress code. You should know that without any exception, Soddy Daisy High School has the loosest, most lax dress code in the county. Probably no room to complain about the dress code at Soddy Daisy High School. Please follow it. Vaping and drugs. It was very encouraging to me that so many of you reported being frustrated and disgusted with the amount of vaping that goes on in this building. However, administrators cannot police that either. That has to be done by you. And you need to let each other know that you don't think that's cool, that you don't think that that's appropriate, that it has no place in your building. If enough of you stand up against it, it will certainly reduce by a large amount. So as administrators, once again, we can react, we can enforce consequences, and over 170 times this year, we have given students Saturday school, evening school, and suspension for vaping. Fun activities. Again, I would like for you to give me ideas for fun activities. What do you think is fun? What do you think is an appropriate activity for your age, for the things that you enjoy? What would you like to see implemented here at school? We care. We just haven't heard much from you. And so the suggestion box in the main office and the Student Senate, please share those things. Also, if you will share ideas with Mr. Sneed's core group, the student council that meets with him each day, those things would be taken into consideration as well, because he would share those with us. So those are ways to get some fun activities incorporated. I'm more than willing to work on those things, but I need ideas. I need your input. Funding for art, band, and forensics. Again, this is not something we can control. We get very little funds from the state, which covers our leasing of copy machines, our phone bill, and purchasing paper for teachers to copy on. That is about all that covers. So we don't have any ways of getting funding unless it is grant writing. And if any of you know of grants and would like to be on a grant writing committee, you let me know, and we will see what we can do about gathering funds. But as far as being able to fund those through our school budget, that is not a possibility. AP and dual enrollment classes and more choices of those. You probably need to know too that we are right at the very top of all the schools in the county with our AP and DE class offerings. And so that is not an issue at our school. We have been commended multiple times for the number of those classes that we have. If you have a particular class you would like to see offered, put that in the suggestion box as well, and we will discuss that when we talk about scheduling. And heat and air. I know it's a huge issue here, but here's what we can celebrate. This summer, they are reworking the entire heating and air system in our building. It's going to be brand new. It will not be the same way that it is now. Every time I speak with people at central office, the answer is the chiller is down. And we will not be using a chiller after this year. So if we can just make it through the next month and a half, next year we should have much better results with our heating and air and our climate in the building. So we can celebrate that. If you mentioned communication, I want you to know that we have a new website. We have a web class who is running that website. If you want anything put on the website, you need to speak with Ms. Clark or one of her students who are running the website. But as far as communication, the things that happen in this building go on that website. You should be able to go to sdtrojans.com. Go straight to our website, click on any of those tabs. If you need to communicate with a teacher, their emails, you can click right onto the directory, click onto the teacher's name, takes you straight to email. If you need to communicate with one of the administrators, same thing. There's also an anonymous reporting link that is on that website, so you can let us know about things that are happening if you don't want your name attached to that. There are so many methods that we have for communicating, and I think maybe those are just not being utilized by the student body. So make sure that you check out our school website. It has been revamped and is being kept up to date continually because there's a class that runs that. So please check out the school website. Again, it's sdtrojans.com, and you should be able to see a lot of things there. Also, these announcements every day is our method of communicating with you. So if you hear that a class is not watching those, if you can get that teacher's name to me, I can find out why. It may be because something's wrong with the television or a connection or an internet connection or something, but you've got to let us know if you are not or a friend of yours is not seeing the announcements. Those are the topics that were listed in the climate survey where you actually gave us specific input. The 1 to 5 things, it was pretty much in the middle, it seemed like, most things. So it does seem that you feel safe in the building, which is a very good thing. Other than that, if you have anything to share with me, please feel free to come by my office and let me know what you think. We're very interested in student input, and I hope you have a great rest of the day.
The director of the Southeast Conservation Corps will be here on Wednesday during 3rd Block in the Media Center to talk about their summer youth programs. Participants in the program will fill paid positions in the field of conservation, including in trail construction, maintenance, revegetation, and more. Tell your 3rd Block teacher if you're interested. And here with today's Martin Moment is Miss Martin.
Good morning, everyone. Touching base with you guys about some exciting things happening this week, right, Jonathan?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay. First of all, tomorrow, 2 awesome things are happening tomorrow. What is a turn-in event for tomorrow?
Scholarships.
Yes, like 13 really great scholarships are due to me tomorrow. Let me just take a moment, seniors. These majority are just within the Soddy Daisy High School community, and so you're only competing in a friendly way with your other classmates. I just really want to encourage you to go in. You can go into Naviance, of course, and access them, or an even easier method, which has the due dates beside it, which is helpful, is to go on the Soddy Daisy website, go under Community, College Center, then Scholarships. You can view the due date, and you can print the form there. Do you encourage people to go ahead and participate in turning in scholarship applications?
Yes, definitely.
You endorse that activity?
Yes.
Fabulous. Okay. Now, this also is exciting. Tomorrow, we have the director of the Southeastern Conservation Corporation coming to our school looking to hire eligible 16 to 18-year-olds. And by hire, that means you're going to make what?
$290 a week.
Oh, he's specific. The reason Jonathan West is in here with me is because he was one of the students selected to participate in this last year. So what happened, Jonathan? They came to the school, and then you listened, and take it from there.
And then, so if you're interested, you can talk to her after and go to their website and fill out an application, and then she'll get back to you in a couple weeks to set up an interview. And then if you decide to do it and they decide to accept you, it's a 6-week period in June and July, and you go out and do trail work in national parks.
That is awesome. Okay, so there's 2 reasons this is fabulous. First of all, you're helping the community. You're outside in nature. This is what the openings are for this year. Let me just read it here. It's called a Corps member for the Chickamauga and Chattanooga National Military Park Conservation Crew. This is an in-town crew. Jonathan did an out-of-town crew where he would go and literally camp during the week, Monday through Friday, do trail work, clear brush, get paid, and you had a great experience, right? Okay, I also want to mention, for those of you that are really looking at applying to colleges that require kind of a little more than just a good ACT and a good GPA, it's that extra stuff. This kind of thing looks really good on college applications and scholarship applications because it's community service. You're getting outside of the box a little bit. You are, again, helping your community. You're out in nature. You're benefiting. This in particular would be the battlefield, the National Military Park. And again, I can't stress, a lot of times these opportunities are volunteer. This is a paid internship in a sense. So bottom line, that's a lot of information. All you got to do is come tomorrow to the Media Center during 3rd Block if you're 16 to 18 years old, and the director will be here to talk a little more about it and to give the opportunity to pursue this. And you would recommend this opportunity, correct?
Yeah.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how highly would you recommend someone participating in this opportunity?
A 10.
Oh, good. A 10. Okay, fabulous. Last thing, this is very quick, but I'm excited about this because I'm actually going to participate and learn and glean. We're going to put together an ACT forum with some of our seniors that have taken the test multiple times and really implemented test-taking strategies. It's going to be just a quick little 30-minute or so forum this week, probably Thursday, maybe Friday. I'll get details to you soon. But those of you, some of y'all are taking the test this Saturday. Those of you that are interested, I'll give you more details, but this is going to be an opportunity to hear from our seniors that have, again, implemented some strategies, taken the test multiple times, really done well on that test, for you to sit and listen and ask questions, okay? Very informal, nothing stressful. I'll give you more details coming. I'm going to be one of the ones sitting there and listening to them and what they have to say. It's a good opportunity within the school to just gain a little bit more insight into this test. So I'll give you more info about that coming up soon. All right, Jonathan, any last words?
No.
No. Not Go Vols. Virginia won, actually. Did you watch it last night? It was kind of late, but it was a good game. All right. Have a great rest of the day. See ya.
An overnight shooting between a Hamilton County Sheriff's deputy and a man armed with a knife leaves one dead. According to a statement by the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation, sheriff's deputies were called to a disorder on Broyles Drives. They found 42-year-old Charlie Payne armed with a bat. During the exchange with officers, Payne dropped the bat but then pulled a knife on deputies, escalating the situation, leading one of the officers to fire his gun. Payne died at the scene, and the investigation into the shooting is being handled by the TBI.
Today, we've got more spring-like weather and mostly cloudy skies for most of the day. Temperatures are going to be in the low 70s for our drive home today. The high will be 77. Skies are going to be overcast until about 2 p.m. when we're expecting skies to be mostly cloudy. This evening, skies are going to completely clear out. Tomorrow's weather shows clear skies. Morning temperatures will be in the 50s and afternoon temperatures will be in the 70s, with the high reaching 77. Looking ahead in the week, we're seeing temperatures return to their spring-like glory, but not without a rainy weekend.
Today, the children's tennis team will take on Cumberland County at Rivermont Park. The match will start at 4. Everyone wish them good luck. Tonight, our children's baseball team will take on Cleveland at home. The JV game will start at 4 o'clock, and the varsity game will start at 7 o'clock. Everyone come out and cheer on our Trojans. The football team is looking for guys and ladies that would like to be managers for the team next fall. Please see Coach Barnes during lunch if you're interested. Our children's lacrosse team will take on Signal Mountain at Signal Mountain tonight. The game will start at 6:30. Everyone come out and cheer on our Trojans. Stay tuned to Saudy Daisy Athletics on Twitter for any game cancellations or delays.
That's all for today's Saudy Daisy. Tune in tomorrow for more important announcements. Until then, have a good day and good news.